What's going on, everybody? This is Emerald Knight Leon back with another deck analysis. God, I gotta breeze through this analysis and the next one, cause starting this Friday, tomorrow, we are getting EX3, and while I am happy we are getting the new set, good God, I would recommend everybody keep a notepad with all the effects written on them because there's a lot of typos. But we're not here to talk about typos and Bandai screwing up. We're here to talk about Renamon. Specifically, this is more or less a tribal Sakuya Miko mode. And yes, I refer to her as Miko mode. It's not maid mode. This isn't an maid outfit. But starting with our Digi-Eggs, we are running 4 copies of Viximon and 1 Upamon here. The Viximons, basically, when we use an option card with the cost of 2 or more, we're going to draw 1, just a bit of draw power for us. Upamon, if we have 3 or fewer security, we get to draw 1. As you can see, though, this is a deck that has a lot of option cards. And it's got a bit of everything, really. For our rookies, we are running 12 rookies. We are running 12 Renamon. We'll talk about BT5's Renamon. This is the Renamon. Honestly, if you did not want to run it, you could swap it out with something else. I will talk about 2 particular level 3s that would be useful to swap out. It does have a useful on play of you can tag one of your opponent's Digimon with security attack -1 until the end of their next turn. EX2's Renamon has an on-play where you can reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Cubimon, Taomon, or Sakuyamon in its name, and 1 Rika among them to your hand. So there are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options that you can really hit in terms of all of that. It also has an inheritable of when you use an option card with 2 or more cost, gain a memory. So just you use it and then you kind of cheapen it a bit more. Finally, we are running the BT10 Renamon. This has an on-play where you can reveal top 4 cards of your deck and add 1 option card with plug-in in its name and 1 yellow tamer among them to your hand. And its inherited is when you would use an option card with a cost of 2 or more, one of your opponent's Digimon gets 2000 DP reduction for the turn. So, that's the main crux of this. Yes, there are other option cards that you could use, but because we are searching out specifically plugins, we are using practically every plugin there is. Moving into our level 4s, though, we are running 4 copies of EX2 Cubimon. It's when Digivolving, reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 option card with plugin in its name among them to your hand, and remaining go to the bottom. And its inherited is when you would use an option card with the cost of 2 or more, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -2000 DP for the turn. So having this EX2 Cubimon on top of the BT10 Renamon, you can easily just get -4000 right then and there. We also have BT10 Cubimon, which we are running 4 copies of. When Digivolving, you may activate one of the effects below. Return 1 option card with plugin in its name from your trash to your hand. So in the event that a plugin card came from your security and it didn't have a, or it was trashed in security more like, you'd be able to recover it. But its secondary effect that you could choose is by trashing 1 option card with plugin in its name, draw 2. So if you have, say, like 2 copies of High Speed Plugin D or 2 copies of Defense Plugin C in your hand, you can trash 1, just get to draw 2 if you needed to get your Sakuyamon. Finally, we are running 2 copies of BT10 Darkmon. This is just for its when attacking inheritable, just giving a security attack -1 to an opponent. The reason I run that is mainly in the event that your opponent has 2 Digimon, and you cannot take care of both of them with DP reduction. Your best bet is essentially focusing the DP reduction on one and then using the security attack -1 on the other. Moving on to our level 5s. Now, the ratios can be mixed a little to a 3-3, but I prefer 4-3 here. Simply because Taomon's when digivolving is just really nice. You may use one option card with plugin in its name from your hand without meeting its color requirements or paying its cost. So if you're able to, if your opponent passes your turn over and you have like say 5 or even like 6 memory for some reason, you can digivolve into Taomon and use the Digivolution plugin and just be able to digivolve your way into Sakuyamon in a single turn. We are also running 2 copies of EX2 Taomon. When digivolving, you can play a Rika from your hand without paying its cost, and its inherited is when you use an option card with 2 cost or more. One of your opponent's Digimon gets -2000 DP for the turn. So the ideal stack for DP reduction is BT10 Renamon, EX2 Cubimon, and EX2 Taomon, just for 6000 right there. And that gets even better when you attach it to EX2 Sakuyamon, which will net you an extra 3000, putting you at 9000 reduction on a single Digimon. But EX2 Sakuyamon, it's when digivolving, unsuspend one of your Digimon, and for each tamer you have in play, return one option card with plugin in its name from your trash to your hand. When you use an option card with a cost of 2 or more, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -3000 DP for the turn. So if you've been using your plugins, you're going to be able to return them, which is very nice. Our newest addition to this, though, is Sakuyamon Miko mode. When digivolving, you may use one option card with plugin in its name or a yellow option card with a memory cost of 5 or less from your hand, ignoring its color restrictions and without paying its memory cost. Then after using the option, instead of trashing it, place it on top of your security stack face down. When attacking, this Digimon can digivolve into a Sakuyamon in your hand for a memory cost of 1, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. So how this can work is you can digivolve into Miko mode, use a option, say, let's go with high speed plugin D, giving you jamming, it can't be blocked. Alright, you then go in for the attack and use its effect to digivolve into Sakuyamon, allowing you to unsuspend your Sakuyamon and then return any plugin that wasn't the high-speed plugin D that you just used from your trash to your hand for every tamer you have. And then, because of the when attacking, you could swing, then use another plugin to get your turn effect, because the your turn effect wouldn't apply since this came from a when digivolving effect and the timing would have already passed. But moving into our options, we are running defense plugin C. This gives blocker and reboot. Its security effect is you reveal top 3 cards of your deck. You can play one Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less among them without paying its play cost. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order, then add this to your hand. There's not a lot that can be played from this outside of your rookies. So if you did want to, you could, say, change the ratios a bit. So you could put defense to 2 and Digivolution to 3. Our next plugin, High Speed Plugin D, is jamming and can't be blocked, and its security effect is just draw 1, then add to hand. Our Digivolution plugin lets us draw one and then Digivolve one of our Digimon into a Digimon card in our hand that can Digivolve for a Digivolution cost of 3 or less without paying its Digivolution cost. Its security effect: reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order, and then add this card to your hand. Offensive plugin A will net us an extra security attack +1, and its security effect is reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 tamer card among them to your hand, and place the remaining at the bottom of your deck in any order, and then add this to your hand. We are running 1 copy of the reinforcement plugin O. This one I only see you needing 1. It does net you plus 3,000 to one of your Digimon, which is nice, and its security effect is gaining a memory, so it could essentially pass turn in a way, if you're really lucky. And finally, we are running 2 copies of Holy Flame. That security effect is just still really nice. All of your opponent's Digimon gaining security attack -1 for the turn, and then its main effect is one of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -3 until the end of their next turn. It's just real nice. Finally, we are running 4 copies of Rika. She is a memory setter. She's the only memory setter you want to play with this deck because of her main effect. When you attack with a Digimon with Renamon, Kyubi, Towel, or Sakuyamon in its name, you may suspend this tamer to use 1 option card with plugin in its name from your hand without paying its cost. So you're going to use Rika to chain in with Sakuyamon's your turn effect while she's attacking. And you could use it when you're attacking with Miko mode, so that you're going to attack with Miko mode, you're going to Digivolve into Sakuyamon, and then you're going to suspend Rika in order to play one of your option cards to trigger Sakuyamon's effect, essentially. But that is it with this deck analysis. We do have some cards you could tech in, though. And there are a few. For level 3s, Tinkermon from BT10 is a nice option. It's cheaper than the Renamon, and it can, for the most part, give the same benefits of a security attack -1. Salamon here from BT2 is always a nice rookie card, simply because it can net you a recovery on its deletion. And if you're going for the DP reduction, Patamon can be useful because of its inheritable that will net you a memory when a Digimon is deleted by dropping to 0 DP. For level 4s, some blockers are very nice. Unimon from the starter deck 3 and Pedomon from BT4 are blockers. They're very nice to have if you feel like you don't want to lose your security too much. I don't know how I feel about BT5's Cubimon. It's alright. It's just, its inheritable isn't the best, really, at this point. If you don't have some of the other Cubies, this is a good alternative, I guess. I would still find something else. If you wanted to play with more tamers, though, I would recommend Kazemon, because you don't want to Digivolve it over Eureka unless it's going for game. So I would recommend some other tamers. For level 5s, the only one that I can really think of, if you didn't want to play Darkmon, is Sanzomon, because it has the exact same inherited effect, plus it has a when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -1 until the end of the turn. For level 6s, the OG BT5 Sakuyamon is still a very nice card, just because of when your opponent moves a Digimon from their breeding area to the battle area, it gains security attack -3 for the turn, and then all of your opponent's security Digimon get -3,000 DP. Now, for options, there are a few that could work. If you're running a little purple tech, Mimi is the way to go. Because you're using a lot of option cards, you can basically use Mimi to reduce the cost of them even further, to the point that in some cases they can just be for free. For an option card to run with Purple Mimi, Back for Revenge is a card I will always endorse. It just gives one Digimon you have on deletion play this card without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects on the Digimon will not activate, but who cares? You could slap that thing on either of your Sakuyamons if they die in security and just get them back again. Like, it's still a viable card, really. And honestly, you're going to see me try to tech that into other decks in the future, especially with EX3. For yellow option cards, we do have Holy Wave for just recovery, Blinding Ray for memory manipulation, Tactical Retreat for, again, recovery. Reinforcing Memory Boost is a card I don't normally like because it's a restricted to 1 and it's still a 6 cost. So there aren't many ways to reduce its cost unless you're running Purple Mimi Tech. Wyvern's Breath, as always, great card to have coming out of your security. And then finally, Yellow Memory Boost. Since the majority of, if not the entirety of our deck outside of our options are yellow, we can search for yellow Digimon with it. Outside of Mimi, other tamers I could recommend would be TK and Kari. Just because of their effects and also gaining more memory. Cody, not because of your turn effect. Since you're not running cards with 2 or more colors, that's not going to really help. But if you do have a yellow Digimon in play, gain 1 memory is always a nice effect. But also, 2 cost TK. All of your security Digimon get plus 2000 DP. And considering a lot of our Digimon are in the lower end of DP thresholds, especially our level 3s, where our only Digimon with more than 2000 DP is BT5 Renamon. And our Darkmon, if it came out of security, is 4000, with the other 2 being 5. That extra DP could help out when needed. That is it, though, for this deck analysis. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish I could have gotten more time to test out Sakuyamon, really. It's just with this, how short this set has been, and store championships going on at the same time, it has been a bit difficult to really find time to test a lot of the decks that I've been covering. But I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a like, comment. Tell me what you think about this, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.